Behind the crystal turquoise waters of the world's most exclusive private islands lies an engineering night terror that consumes hundreds of millions of dollars. From Hollywood celebrities and hedge fund managers to sovereign wealth funds, possessing an isolated piece of land surrounded by ocean is the ultimate benchmark of status. However, turning an undeveloped tropical rock into a livable private kingdom is one of the most complex civil engineering exercises on Earth. While buying an unbuilt island might only cost $2 to $5 million up front, the true capital expenditure lies in constructing off-grid municipal infrastructure. Before a single luxury villa can be built, island owners must construct a complete public utility network from scratch. A raw island has no electrical grid, no fresh water supply, no sewage treatment, and no deep-water dock for supply ships. Developing a medium-sized private island into a fully functional resort or estate requires an initial capex ranging from $50 million to over $200 million. A massive portion of this capital goes into marine dredging and heavy-duty jetty construction to allow supply barges to dock safely. If the island lacks natural deep-water channels, owners must pay millions for environmental surveys and specialized marine excavators to cut access channels through outer reefs. To create artificial beaches and expand buildable acreage, developers execute land reclamation projects using hydraulic suction dredgers, pumping hundreds of thousands of tons of seafloor sand to raise land elevations above sea level drives up initial capex exponentially. Living on a private island means operating your own private municipal power and water utility company. Generating reliable power isolated from the mainland grid requires constructing a multi-megawatt hybrid microgrid. Modern island utility microgrids combine industrial solar photovoltaic arrays, massive lithium-ion battery storage banks, and redundant diesel generators. Designing and installing an automated microgrid capable of handling air conditioning, industrial refrigeration, and water treatment costs upwards of $15 million. Fresh water supply represents an even greater operational challenge than power generation. Because groundwater on small islands is either non-existent or contaminated by saltwater intrusion, owners must install industrial reverse osmosis desalination plants. Desalination plants pull seawater through microscopic filtration membranes under extreme hydraulic pressure to produce hundreds of thousands of gallons of drinkable water daily. These plants consume massive amounts of electricity, creating a continuous operational loop where power and water costs directly multiply one another. In addition, owners must construct self-contained ecological waste treatment facilities to process sewage and recycle gray water for land irrigation without polluting the surrounding coral reefs. Once an island infrastructure is operational, daily operating expenses shift towards solving the tyranny of maritime logistics. Every single resource consumed on a private island, from diesel fuel and fresh food to building materials and maintenance spare parts, must be imported by sea or air. Island owners must establish a permanent maritime supply chain, chartering landing craft vessels and heavy supply barges on weekly rotation schedules. Operating a dedicated logistics fleet, including crew salaries, marine insurance, and fuel, adds $5 to $15 million in annual recurring OPEX. In addition, structural maintenance on a salt-exposed ocean asset is a continuous, relentless war against corrosion. Salt spray, extreme humidity, and ocean winds degrade electronics, concrete reinforcement, and mechanical pumps at 10 times the rate of mainland assets. HVAC systems, desalination membranes, and generator turbines require constant overhaul and replacement every 3 to 5 years. To manage this complex machinery, island owners must hire a permanent full-time staff of marine engineers, electricians, logistics managers, and security personnel. Providing housing, food, medical care, and rotation transport for a staff of 50 to 100 employees represents the single largest line item in an island's annual operational budget. Beyond engineering and logistics, the legal structure of island ownership is fraught with sovereign regulatory risk. In many desirable jurisdictions across the South Pacific, the Caribbean, and Southeast Asia, foreign nationals are legally prohibited from owning land outright under fee simple title. Instead, governments grant long-term sovereign leases, typically running between 50 and 99 years. Under a leasehold structure, the buyer does not own the physical dirt. They merely own the right to occupy and develop the land for the duration of the agreement. As the lease approaches its expiration date, the asset's market value begins to decay unless the owner can negotiate an expensive lease extension with the host nation's government. Furthermore, island owners must navigate complex territorial waters law and coastal protection mandates. Naval borders, exclusive economic zones, and environmental conservation permits restrict where structures can be built over water. Failure to secure proper environmental impact clearances can result in severe sovereign fines, forced demolition of overwater structures, or total revocation of the island lease. To hedge against political risk, sophisticated billionaire owners often negotiate special economic zone status or diplomatic status with host nations, effectively creating autonomous, self-governing territories. To offset astronomical annual operating expenses, island owners choose between two distinct economic pathways: ultra-luxury commercial monetization or exclusive private preservation. Owners pursuing commercial returns transform their estates into private island luxury resorts, charging high-net-worth guests anywhere from $30,000 to over $100,000 per night. By limiting capacity to a handful of ultra-exclusive villas, these resorts maintain extreme privacy while generating high-margin cash flow to subsidize ongoing infrastructure costs. Commercial resorts monetize not just accommodation, but private yacht charters, helicopter transfers, Michelin-star culinary programs, and bespoke wellness retreats. Conversely, owners who maintain their island strictly as a private sanctuary treat the asset as a passion investment or a generational legacy estate. For sovereign wealth funds and ultra-wealthy dynasties, private islands serve as the ultimate safe haven asset, an uncancelable, self-sustaining off-grid bunker capable of operating independently during global crises. Whether built as an eco-resort generating millions in nightly bookings or as a private sovereign sanctuary, owning an island remains the ultimate synthesis of extreme engineering, endless capital deployment, and absolute human independence.